All right. Hello, you guys. Welcome to Coach's Corner. We are so excited. We already have been chatting and we're having so much fun, but we're so excited to have you guys join us today because we have a special guest, our dear friend, Allie. We are going to talk about, hi, buddy. We're going to talk about goal setting today, but we're really going to dive into some stuff that Allie has shared with us on consistency, her 5 tips. So she's gonna give you 5 tips and just productivity. So we're gonna dive into that. We're gonna kind of piggyback off of each other and just give you guys some of our own ideas as well. To, of course, your hosts, don't forget us, Ashley, Coach Ashley on Instagram, also Malik, Coach Malik on Instagram, and then Allie is Allie Velasquez on Instagram.
That's it.
Awesome. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just kick us off, or actually I'm going to kick it to, not kick us off. I'm going to kick it to Malik, and you can just start with those 5 tips, and we're going to really focus on what Allie has brought to the table for us today.
Thank you, Ashley. Yeah, we're super pumped. Allie, thank you for coming. We talked about some questions that we want to ask you guys or wanted to bring to the show, and wanted, Allie to kind of go a little bit more into her schedule, which she's said yes to do. And one of our questions was, what are the top 5 tips to stay consistent / productive to your goals?
Yeah. Biggest thing, number one thing, I calendar everything. I'm talking down to my own workouts, down to emails, computer work that I need to get done. Obviously, we are personal trainers. Most of our job is physical and being present in the moment. Yep. But staying consistent on those little tasks and things that we need to get done on the background side of things. I have to calendar everything. I think Ashley also mentioned that she really down to everything, calendars everything. So create a calendar, create a schedule, follow it, set reminders on your calendars and your schedule, set little timers for things. Sometimes productivity is also time bound, right? I feel like if you've ever studied for school or for certification or for anything, you can only study for so long before you start to get that brain fog and before you kind of start to drive yourself a little bit crazy. Set a 2-hour timer. I'm going to set this amount of time to do X amount of work. And I'm not going to burn myself out on that. So I think that really helps as well. Find what you enjoy doing. I think it's way easier to stay consistent on things when you enjoy what you're actually doing, right? There's no point in making goals that are going to be impossible to meet. So yeah, finding what you enjoy doing.
Super quick.
Yeah.
Those are so good. I just want to elaborate.
Listen them off, you guys.
Each one could be a podcast in itself.
Yeah, seriously. This always happens to us. I feel like we just need another thing to go off of. But so 100% calendar, especially as a mom, it's huge for me. The calendar just keeps me organized, and when you're organized, you are more productive. The other thing that you said, the second thing was
time
tell
bound.
me the second thing. Time. Yeah. Okay. And see, mom brain, you have to write things down.
True.
Timers, reminders, alarms, schedule, calendar.
Reminders. I love it. That's awesome.
So the reminders, 1000%. I'm a huge believer in that. I have a freaking timer for everything. I got timers. I got alarms going off all throughout the day to remind me to do this. That's a huge one. And you said something about the time balance, and there's something really cool that has helped me too, even with this would be a little more on the productivity side, especially as a mom. When you're in it, home, 2 little kids, your house is a mess, you haven't eaten, you haven't all the things, you set a timer, 15 minutes, set a timer, and you say, I'm gonna for 15 minutes clean this room. Nothing else. Don't tackle anything else. Clean this room. For 15 minutes, I'm going to wash the dishes. For 15 minutes, I'm going to sit down and really just, play with the kids and focus on that. You set a timer even for just 15 minutes. The amount of things you can get done with no distraction, it is huge. And that has been so amazing, that timer thing, because literally, like you were saying, studying or anything, if you just sit down work. If you work from home, sit down, set a timer and work. Don't have anything else for, as far as distractions. Work out. If you set a 15-minute timer and just do a quick workout, you'll sweat and you'll focus on just that and you'll sweat and feel good and you're reset for the day. So I think that is a really, really also really great tip. And what's the third one?
Third one. Enjoy what you're doing.
Find
enjoyment.
Yes, I just had, so I have a new client and I was just talking to her. I was like, what do you like? How can you express yourself? How can you move your body in a way that's going to be fun? I was like, you want to go like roller skating? Oh, buddy, you okay? I was like, you want to go like roller skating, skateboarding, hiking? I love hiking. Hiking is like my number one thing I will do to clear my mind, feel better, and like move my body. And it just brings my soul happiness and de-stresses me. I told her, you have to find something that you can move your body physically and get that, like your heart rate up, maybe even, or just get happy or whatever. Yeah. That happiness also helps with like losing weight and de-stressing and everything.
It makes it easier to do those things.
Yeah.
Like for me, the timer thing is important for when I'm doing emails, scheduling, like as a trainer, I feel like we find the most enjoyment in our jobs while we're training, right? Yeah. Or while we're teaching. And to be honest, when I have to schedule each month, I leave it sometimes to the last minute because it's the least thing that I want to do, right?
Yeah.
And the computer work and all the other things that come with it, like on the back end, that stuff is hard to find time to do. I'm putting that in quotes because you find time to do something. But I think that's where I kind of lack and where I need the timer. So the timer thing. That's good.
Set a timer for the hard things. Set a timer for the things you don't like to do. For example, for me, it's hard to clean the house in the middle of the day. You set a timer, 15-minute reset. You set a timer for the things that are hard to do and you will get it done and you sit down and concentrate on it. And you get it done faster.
And then you reward yourself by going on your hike afterwards because that
there you go.
Your soul.
2 birds, 1 stone. You see how she did that? Like you were talking, it didn't seem like she was listening. She comes back. I don't know how she does this. She's doing like all things, the mom stuff. I don't know. I still don't get how you.
She's like, the baby got hurt. I'm putting a podcast out. I have notes. She's doing it all at once.
Well, I could tell you were like, is she listening? Is this gonna go? And I was like, I know she's listening. She's gonna come in 2 seconds and roll right that sentence. Yeah.
And we're kidless, Malik.
Malik's always pumping me up. Thank you.
I plan on having 10 kids. I want 10 kids.
You're insane.
One day.
Still?
Yeah.
Hey, Jim used to say he wanted 4, and I was like, that's an ask.
Now he wants 5.
We've settled.
Go the other way.
How's 2 going, Ash? How's 2 going? Because that's in my future.
2's all you need. You're good.
There you go.
Tapped out. Tapped out 2, no more. I'm all set.
Noted.
So those are your first 3. They're freaking amazing. Keep going. But I think those are good points. And I know Malik takes notes, so we can always close with like those little reminders.
I have a good one. Well, I kind of just explained my 4th, which is rewards, right? Reward yourself. Yes. So, you're productive. You do the things you don't want to do. You set your timers for your tasks. And then you reward yourself with something that you do want to do after your task is done. And it makes everything better. I used to, and there's healthy rewards, and there's other rewards that you splurge on, which I think everything comes in balance.
Yep.
But I have like a fun, like less healthy, but like exciting reward that I used to do. Yep. So if I hit X amount of sessions in a week for training, on Fridays, if I were set to hit my session count, I would go and get myself a little Phil's coffee because it's my unhealthy guilty pleasure, my sugary, exciting, fun
Phil's is
melted
good.
Haagen-Dazs ice cream style
Oh,
coffee, and I would reward myself with that on Fridays.
That's-
If I hit my session count.
wait,
for the
there's ice cream in Phil's coffee?
No, it just tastes like that, honestly.
Oh, it does taste amazing. I was like, I don't remember them being ice cream. in
That's
Phil's
just like
coffee.
what it reminds me of. But that's
It's
like
good.
an example of like,
Okay.
you know, a little reward that if I hit my session counts for the week and,
Yeah.
you know,
I think
really,
that's
like,
called affogato.
I forgot.
I think it's espresso over ice cream. Just
That
gonna throw
is
that out there.
amazing.
Words on
Yeah.
the on the podcast right
We're
now.
learning new
I'll never
words
say
now.
that again.
I didn't know we were Italian. Is that Italian?
Are you Italian?
Is that an Italian word?
It's possible. It's possible. I don't know.
know.
So we got calendar, put everything on the calendar, time bound, set a timer, do something you enjoy, and then reward yourself after you do it. And then the fifth one,
Fifth one, don't feel guilty for mishaps.
Love that.
That's a good one too. I think that it's important when you fall off not to get discouraged.
you say that one more time.
Don't feel guilty for mishaps. You know, I think that it's important to, if you fall off, not to let that like cloud your overall goal and judgment on what you're doing, and like keep going. I think that everybody's gonna fall off. That's like a part of the process. You know, I actually think you guys in your last episode last week were you guys mentioned something about, what was it, Ashley? You know exactly.
I was just gonna bring it to
I
everyone's
heard your
attention.
last podcast, and I think you guys were saying something along the lines of like,
Yeah, because like you said, a mishap. I like that word too. It's not a complete fall off. It's not something where it's the end, right? It's just a speed bump. It's a bump in the road. Everyone is going to have that, a setback, but the people that keep going are the ones that stay consistent, are the ones that you see are successful, whether it's in like their like health journey, physically, mentally, financially, like in their business. Those are the people that had the setbacks, had the, you know, fall off moment, and they don't fall off. They keep going.
Yep.
That's huge.
Huge. So yeah, that's my fifth.
I love that.
I love it. Those are great.
My favorite one might have been that last one. Don't feel guilty for the mishaps.
That's hard because
Yep.
people just go
hardest.
back to square one, and it's
Yeah.
like, no, you worked so hard to get halfway there or a quarter of the way there, or
Yeah.
you're almost there and you fall off, and then people think
Yeah.
like, that's it,
Yeah.
I'm done, I have to start over. And there's there's also so much learning in the process of falling off, right? Or in
Exactly.
mishaps. Like you learn so much by failing, which I think is what Ashley said last week. Like you learn so much by failing. And
It's a pivot moment.
I don't think failure is like a bad thing, right? Like you kind of have to go through that in order to progress and move forward.
Failure is literally what makes or break people, because people will see failure as that done, like I failed, that's it.
Yep.
And then other people see failure as that pivoting moment where something happens and you do have a setback, you do fail. Yeah, baby. Nice. That's cool. And then from that failure, they learn, they take a new road, and then those people like skyrocket. Just skyrocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard the book Atomic Habits?
Love.
Yep, I've heard of it. Haven't read it, but heard of it.
You need to read it.
Is
It's
it
so good.
I'm so into fiction right now, you guys. Like I'm reading so many like, I'm like deep in like a fantasy world right now.
I want to
But
go.
I can take a break. I can take a break for the good habits. I'll have to put that one on my book list.
You take the Atomic Habits, I'll go to the fantasy land.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's this quote in there, this line that kind of brings this point, like you fail or whatever, or even if you're doing the right things, you're not seeing results. A lot of people do that. They'll go hard for a week and not see results. It's like, you know, you only do this a week, you know. But there was this, you know, you have an ice cube in a room. Let's say you're in a freezer room and there's an ice cube there and you're breathing, right? Your breath is hot, but it's 23 degrees in the freezer room. And then, but you're breathing it. So it's getting a little hotter. It's getting to 24, but it's still ice. Now it's 25 degrees, 26 degrees, 27 degrees. It's still ice, 28, 29, 30. You're doing all these warming up, but it's still ice. Nothing's changed on the ice. As soon as it hits 31 or 32, I think it was 32, whatever freezing is. I don't know, Fahrenheit. I ain't a scientist. It starts melting, but you put in all that effort, didn't see any results. And then as soon as that 1 degree switches, now the ice is starting to melt. So it's like, how long are you willing to wait to see, you know, the results that you're trying to see? And that's kind of like why I like the guilty thing, is like, you feel guilty, you stop. No. You feel guilty, cool, learn why do you feel guilty, but don't have that stop you. It's like you keep, like a bike only falls over if it stops. It keeps its balance if it keeps going.
That's a good point.
love
I
that.
think people like instant gratification.
Yeah.
And when you're talking like about big goals and like things that are just, you really have to have like a schedule and, you know, the SMART goals, right? Like you
Yep.
really have to follow those points when you
Yep.
have these big goals. There's no way you're going to get that instant gratification. You have to find that instant gratification for yourself, which is why we're talking about all these like smaller points, right? Don't feel guilty if you fall off. Reward yourself for the little things, right? Find what you enjoy doing. So like those are all important points that just kind of connect to what Malik was saying.
I love that.
Yeah, and that, okay, so first of all, that book, amazing. Like everyone should read that book. I actually put that in my show notes, Malik, because I really recommend that book to everybody. And there's so many good tips in there. But like that ice thing, I want to say most people actually stop before that breakdown.
Yeah.
Before they hit that point, that transition, it gets really, really hard. They're seeing a lot of pushback. They are striving for something. And it's like right when you feel like you're about to have a breakthrough, something hits you.
Yeah.
You know, like and it's always when you're about to have a breakthrough that the hard comes, and that's when they stop. And they were 1 degree from that melting ice. Crazy, right?
That one right before that degree.
Yeah.
But isn't that life in itself also?
Yeah.
Like
resilience.
trials and tribulations, and like if you work through them, like you are way farther ahead than everybody else already.
You have to work through them.
Right. Because that's the thing, is if you don't, what you don't see is that everyone else is. What you see is the highlight reel on everyone's Instagram, on everyone's page. You see what they're choosing to share with you, and you don't see the ups and downs that every single person is going through. We are all going through it. Everyone has a failure in their life, and everyone has those failures and might not be talking about it at their moment because they have made it to their, you know, you start at level 1, they're at level 100. So all you see is their success, but you didn't see their level 50 when they lost it all.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's where honestly, you differentiate the winners and losers, but the winners.
Yeah.
The losers, the winners. I was
You're
kidding.
not first, you're last. Just kidding.
This podcast. No,
that is not what we're talking about.
Okay. If you think about it though, like even in the NBA game, this is also part of the book too, the Olympics, everyone has the same goal. Like no one's going in, like, so it's not always, the goal is a good direction, but like you were saying, Ali, it's all about the process. It's all about the things that you're doing, because we're all in the Olympics. We all want to win the gold. It's not like anyone's in here like, I'm chilling with the bronze, you know, like my goal isn't bronze. Everyone's goal is the same. So what's the differentiator? It's are you going to put it on your calendar? Are you going to put a timer? Are you going to do the thing? It's what's your process? Winners have different processes. We all got the same goals, but what differentiates is like these things.
The habits.
Yeah.
And the consistency.
And being comfortable with being uncomfortable, if that makes any sense, right? Like
that makes sense.
The whole gratification thing of like, people don't work past that point of that ice melting, right? People don't work past that point because they want the instant gratification, because they're uncomfortable.
Yeah, people want easy money, easy fame, easy this, easy that, easy. It's nothing's easy in life. Nothing. And all those people that you see that have easy lives or that made it, that wasn't easy to get there.
No.
3 minutes.
They didn't show you that.
Right.
3 minutes?
Yeah. It's all right. Still time. I mean, we could have a break, but
we could be here for like 2 hours.
I know. We do this all the time. Should we upgrade next week? Should we do this?
Should we have had Ali on? She talks a lot.
I mean, we could do a commercial break and come back in a minute.
I think maybe we might have to do a commercial break, come back and finish those last 2 questions that we still have.
We could do that.
And maybe a good closing point, because, and this doesn't have to be the closing point, but a good closing point on the book. I will say that it gives you a lot of really great processes and tips and habits.
That's what I
Like,
like.
it's called Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
Right.
But like one of the greatest advice, like little tidbits of advice he had said was, when you have a habit of getting off of work and driving a certain way, you drive on A street all the way home every single time, and you pass that 24-hour fitness, instead of having a gym in your hometown where you're driving to, but it's out of the way, go to the one that's on the way. So the habits that you can make on top of habits, it's called habit stacking. The habits that you can stack on each other because you're already doing something is so important, because you have to sometimes make the things you don't like easy.
Yeah.
And that is huge, a huge thing for people, that some of their habits, some of the good habits they want to start, they're not easy enough and they're not doable. Like, they want to go to the gym for like an hour, go for 5 minutes, go for 15 minutes, make it on the way from work, make it so that you can do them easier. So then you start getting into the habit, and then eventually it will be so second nature. You can go to any gym, doesn't matter where it's at. You're just going to get there because you know you want to get there. You have to get there. And that's the habit that you've created.
Yeah.
Habits. I really like that one. Making it easy.
Yeah.
So should I go over everything we did, a little summary, or are we going to do a minute break, come back? All right. So in this segment, we talked about being productive and how to achieve our goals and how to be productive achieving our goals. And Allie said, put everything in the calendar, set your reminders, which is huge. I really like that one. I was going to ask for some examples, but I think you gave some, maybe when we come back, because I put examples, question mark. So put everything in the calendar, time bound. So put timers on things that you don't want to do. Makes it a little bit easier. You just get it done, put that timer on and go. Do something you enjoy, find something you enjoy. Reward yourself once you do it. So you set that timer, something you don't do, you ended up doing it, wash the dishes, did your workout, now go reward yourself with something that you want to do. And lastly, but not last, don't feel guilty when you have mishaps. It's because that's going to slow you down the most. So we're going to take a minute break here. Enjoy the commercials. There are no commercials.
Our sponsorship.
Hey, we'll be back.
Okay. Join us.
Hey.
Too bad we can't. I am not a good drawer.
Oh, get your drawing.
That looks like nay, not hey.
There's a smiley face for you.
So this is our intro to our show.
Welcome.
Hello. Welcome back.
We'll be doodling.
My guy looks so scary.
How do we get out of this?
Slide to the left. Can you slide?
Draw here. Yeah. Anyway, do you guys like our drawings?
Rate the drawings. Whose is better?
Rate the drawings.
Oh, damn. Who's this one? Is that Mal right here?
Yeah.
Nice.
I can't even see it all.
And Malik is in the wrong career. He needs to be an animator.
Amen to that. I agree. All
Do
right,
it. You can be anything you want to be.
I'm just
all right.
I don't want to be. I'm gonna close the whiteboard. Sorry, I stopped someone from drawing. So we're going. We have 10 minutes, and we're gonna go back to our. Welcome back, guys. We're gonna go back to our questions. Number 2. What do we think about making goals that are huge and scary and bigger than you think you could achieve maybe at that moment?
I mean, I think we touched on it a little bit, like the SMART goals. Like, I don't know if everybody knows, like specific, what is it? Specific, measurable, attainable, what's R? Reasonable?
Reasonable?
Something like that?
I think so.
Yep. And time bound.
Yep.
And we talked about all those things. So I feel like if you break your goal down with those little SMART goals, I think that you're even more set up to follow those like little goals to create that one big goal, right?
So break it down into little bite chunks.
Bite sizes. Yeah.
How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Ashley, do you have anything to say on that? The big scary goals?
You know what? Also, like you said before too, the reward, because with every small goal, there's a reward with it, right? So then it keeps you going, keeps you motivated. Yeah. So I think this breaking it down, smaller goals, having rewards on the way, but focusing and seeing that big goal. I personally think that huge, scary, big to where you don't even think you could do it. Like, things like that, I think they're just healthy to have, good to have, because it pushes you. Because if you reach, I mean, let's just say you went for, and this was on who was this? someone that I listened to a podcast and I forget who it was now, but they were talking about those goals, those type of goals. And when you set that giant goal and you don't get there, you got further than if you would have set a smaller goal.
True.
Right? Like you would have set the small goal, you would have done it, would have been whatever, cool. But if you set the really, really huge goal, even if you don't get there, you got so much further than you would have if you just settled like on a small one, you know? So I think that's why it's like really great.
Love that. I also think, yes, thinking about the bigger picture, but also as you're doing these baby steps, right, to get to somewhere, staying present, because I think that sometimes when you are looking too far ahead into the future, you not only miss what's right in front of you, but you also take some of that enjoyment out of it, and you don't get to process everything that you're doing in the present. And that kind of just gets like lost and put to the side. So I also think staying present in your baby steps and in what you're doing to get to that big, exciting, huge, scary goal.
Yep.
Like, don't miss out on what's right in front of you. Like, people miss out on the enjoyment of things too. People miss out on like, oh my God, I like took one step towards this and I'm not even going to recognize what I just did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where the rewards come in. Reward yourself for those smaller steps that you achieved and those smaller goals that you achieved, because it's just getting you one step closer to either your big goal or to being a better person, a better husband, wife, teacher, student, coach, like whatever. Like it's just helping you get there. But it's all like recognize that you're growing and you know, reward yourself and celebrate yourself for those goals that you hit. And yeah, I think that's actually a good point. Like stay present with what you're achieving.
I love that.
Yeah.
Staying present. It's so easy to get lost in the future and our goals and stuff.
Yeah.
So I like that. Then the last question, do we have any more about the scary goals, the big scary goals? Good to have, guys. Get some scary goals. All right, viewers, get some scary goals. Last one, what do you think about no New Year's resolution movement? Or do you like the New Year's resolution? And what's your take on the New Year's resolutions?
Ooh, I'm gonna let Ashley start with this one.
Ash?
Okay, so I think it's so interesting because there's so many different sides to this, and there's like a side that I see where people don't rest. You know, we're in winter, it's a great time to rest, it's a great time to recover, recuperate, take a break, whatever, right? And if you're like going through movement, if you're going through the movement 24/7, going 24/7, it might not be healthy to set a New Year's resolution because you need a break. So if you think about it, it's right in the middle of like winter time. Winter could either be your break or winter could be your go-getter time, and maybe summer is your break. But depending on how you're living, and if you're not in tune with that, then get in tune with that, because if you're not taking a break and you're going 24/7, the New Year's resolutions thing might not be great for you. If it is your time to really dive in and first quarter of the year is when you want to go for things, then great, take a break another time. But I don't think it's super healthy to not set goals overall. I think it's important and for yourself to always, for everyone to always grow and learn and do things, whether it's like actually, Allie, you shared your goal this year was to read more books, whether that's educational, for fun, you know, recreation, whatever. Like, I think it's just always good to have something where you push yourself, because the more we grow and learn, the more we can get through obstacles and setbacks in our life. So I don't think necessarily we need to like give up New Year's resolutions. I think we can give up the timing of them. It doesn't have to be, whoever says you have to start things on like January 1st. That's like, it's essentially just a huge trend. And it's just been a trend for so long, right? Like you don't need to do that, but I don't think that we should just give up on like, don't set a goal. You know,
I think you're right. I think that people really take it so seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
The first of the year, and there's things to be done. And people are so harsh on the whole New Year's resolution thing. And I love that you said that like, it doesn't have to be January 1st. It doesn't have to be like so set on a specific timeline. Like you said, it's unhealthy to not have goals and to not have these things in your life that you want to progress to. But also, I think that like you can make goals anytime during the year, right?
Yep.
And B, just because it's New Year's resolution and it's like the first of the year and we want to make this a big thing and we want to be ahead of the crowd because everybody else is doing it. I also think to that point, just because it's New Year's resolution and it sounds like such a crazy big thing, my New Year's resolution is such a small, doesn't really have to do with much. It has to do with like something that I enjoy doing and something that I found enjoyment in last year, but I felt like I didn't do enough of it. So I didn't get to enjoy enough of it, right? Like I read 3 books last year. That's nothing in the grand scheme of things. And my New Year's resolution this year, read 6 to 9 books. That's so small and something like just out of enjoyment. And your New Year's resolution doesn't have to be, I'm going to lose 20 pounds in a month, or I'm doing all of January and I'm not going to take a break off. You know, people are so harsh and heavy and up here with New Year's resolutions. Sometimes it can be down here. It doesn't always have to be so crazy.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
It's not even like down here either. It's because like something you, like you said, in the last, do something you enjoy. That's, if anything, it's like, I see that up here because it's making you happy. It's making you more lively. I wrote down what you just said is like, enjoyed it, but didn't do enough of it. I feel like a lot of people set these goals like, oh, I didn't like eat well or work out enough. And those are all things that they're like, guilt. So I got to do. Where it's like, what did you enjoy last year? Like, what did you do? Did you go on one hike? Did you go on one vacation that you really like? I didn't think of it or write it down, but like something that I could do as a New Year's resolution is travel more. Because I did have so much fun traveling. Has nothing to do with losing weight, has nothing to do with bettering my career, but it makes me happier. So like, whatever you enjoyed but didn't do enough of, maybe that's your New Year's resolution, is doing some more of what you enjoy. And goals don't have to be so serious.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that. That is so true. Like, why are you so serious?
Yeah.
Why so serious?
Joker.
I was really hoping
I've
you
waited
would do
like
that.
2 minutes to say that.
Why so serious?
Really hoping you would do that.
I wish I had a filter, the Joker filter. I would have done it.
We can always count on Mal.
But I feel like that's so, like, it's almost like these punishment goals.
Yeah.
Like they're punishing themselves. Like, why, dude? Live a happy life. Like, enjoy yourself. Like, maybe your goal is to go outside more. Like, I think for me, a big one actually was to be better with my time so that I can be a better present, happy, like parent, wife, all the things, you know? So like just to be more present and to really like just have like that quality time, like good time, like not distracted time. Like I think was something that I really wanted to like work on this year. And I think that was like a good kind of like a analyzing goal. Like maybe I did a little too much of this last year. So I want to do this year. Like I kind of like what Malik said, you said like, maybe like look back at your year. Like, what did you enjoy?
Yeah.
What did you not enjoy? What did you not enjoy? Ali said that. What could you improve on?
Yeah.
What could you make, like there's a lot of really good stuff where you can just like look back at your year and be like, well, I want to get better at this. And maybe I want to pick up a new hobby, or maybe I want to do this and do that. And it's just like, it doesn't need to be like, dang, I suck and I need to do this and that. And I need to lose this weight. Like all this, even with actually with my new client, I just did this, but even with like setting goals, like instead of punishing yourself and doing things that are like, take away, take this because it's not good, like add good things in, and then slowly the bad things go out. Right.
That is a real good way to end it, because we have about 45 seconds.
That was a good end.
Good job, guys.
That was a great end.
That was perfect ending.
Thank you so much, Ali, for joining, and we will have you back because that was super fun.
Thank you guys. I had so much fun with you guys.
Podcast. Do you have any last words?
That's it. Follow us on Instagram, and I look forward to being more present in our industry
and enjoying our goals.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for watching. Remember, if you have any comments, what you want to see next episodes, leave it down below. Coach's Corner. See you next episode.